Okay, so the double stroke roll mix-up. Some things to talk about before we get into the music. How to calculate the number of a roll. So if we say a 5-stroke roll, then what it means is to start counting on the first double. So each stroke within that roll is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and it ends with usually 1 accent. However, if you have an even number stroked roll, like an 8-stroke roll, then you start with the double again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so the even number rolls end with 2 accents. Okay, so a 9-stroke roll would be 4 hand motions and a release, because each hand motion is a double. So you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so then a 10-stroke roll would be 4 hand motions and 2 single strokes to end it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you want to do math to figure out how you should play a roll, let's take the 9-stroke for instance again. You would just say 9 minus 1, because 1 is the release. So 9 minus 1 is 8, divided by 2, because each hand motion is 2. And so 9 minus 1 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. That gives you the amount of hand motions that are in that roll. So you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, release. Okay, and then with an even stroke like 12, you would subtract 2, because on an even stroke roll you end with 2 taps. So you would take 12 minus 2 is 10, divided by 2 for the doubles is 5. So you would have 5 hand motions and then 2 accents to release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Okay. So that is how to figure out a roll mathematically. Now, when you'll hear me say a lot the term tap roll. So I might say a tap 5-stroke roll or a tap 6-stroke roll. So that just means that there is an accent before the doubles start. So a tap 6-stroke roll would be the tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So typically 6-stroke rolls are almost always played in a tap 6 configuration. So almost every time you see a 6-stroke roll, you'll hear, and that's just a chain of 6-stroke rolls where the release of the previous 6-stroke becomes the tap that precedes the next 6-stroke roll. So a lot of people would just call this a 6-stroke roll, even though it is actually a tap 6-stroke roll. You have the tap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is the difference between a tap roll and a regular roll, and also how to mathematically figure out the amount of hand motions within each roll. So a 15-stroke roll, to figure out the amount of hand motions, you would subtract 1, which is 14, divide that by 2, which is 7. So you'd have 7 hand motions and a release is a 15-stroke roll. So, getting to the exercise, you'll notice that it starts with the rhythm 1 and 2. However, if you'll look really closely, you'll notice that each of those eighth notes has a little slash through it. And what those slashes mean is to put a double there. And the double are 2 notes equally spaced, where each note is half of the value of that parent note. So an eighth note with a slash through it means you play 2 16th notes on the hand that is marked. So the R below it means that that double is on the right hand. So even though you visually see 1 and 2, you should actually hear 1E and a 2. Yeah. Right, right, left, left, right. So that is a 5-stroke roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minus 1 is 4, divided by 2 is 2 hand motions, therefore right, left, right. Okay, so I'm not going to do the whole math thing for the rest of this. I just really wanted you all to have a pretty strong grasp on what the names of the rolls mean, so that when I'm using that vocabulary in rehearsal, you'll actually be able to follow what is being discussed. It's really important for me that you all are not only able to play, but that you can also speak the language of rudimental drumming. So, the first measure is 5-stroke rolls. 1E and a 2, 3E and a 4. Okay, so let's play that to a met. Again, we'll kind of start this at about 80. Da, 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 da. Two, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. All right. So another thing that you'll notice is above the eighth notes, you'll see that flat line that is called a tenuto. T-E-N-U-T-O. Tenuto. And in our height system, dynamic system at West Springfield, that means that if you have a tap height and an accent height, the tenuto is exactly halfway between those. So that way, if I want you to play beefy taps where they're kind of raised up, then I don't have to write a new dynamic marking there, which is just one more thing to memorize. It's much easier to just write tenutos, which would just mean a half height. So these are beefy taps. These mix-ups don't have dynamic markings. So for the snares and tenors, it's just a piano / fortissimo. So the whole range, dynamic range basically. So I want that applied to you all as well. So these tenuto marked notes will be at about a mezzo forte. Okay, so that's that first measure. Let's play that again with that in mind. So don't try to control your taps so low. Just let this, like, this exercise should really breathe. Da, 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 da. Okay, and so what you'll want to do is make sure that you're not actually single stroking these rolls. That is in the single French mix-up, which is a whole nother thing. So there are single stroke rolls. What this is double stroke rolls. So you should not go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. It should just be right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left. Okay, so ensure that the 16th notes that you're playing in this exercise are doubles and not singles. That's the biggest mistake that I see bass drummers typically make on this. So now the second measure are tap 5-stroke rolls, because the first note of the measure is a singular note by itself. So it would be tap 5, tap 5. Okay, so the release of the previous 5 becomes the tap of the new 5. So let's play the second measure only. Okay, so what I'd like for us to do now is to take out the doubles and play the first 2 measures. So we're only going to play the skeleton or the check of the roll. The skeleton, aka check, just means to take the diddle aspect out of the hand motions. So the skeleton or check for the first measure would be 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and then when you actually play it as a roll, then you add the doubles back in. So let's play the skeleton of the first two measures. 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, and you know, especially if you're new to all these concepts, you might want to just rewind to where we just played the skeleton and then try to practice playing the doubles, but hearing me play that skeleton to ensure that you're moving your hands at that speed and that you're not single stroking these rolls. So now let's play it with the doubles. So not the skeleton, we're playing the first two measures as written. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So now looking at the next two measures, these are tap 9-stroke rolls. So make sure that you're starting these measures with half notes, not quarter notes. So it would actually be 1, 2, 2. Okay, so we call that a dead beat, where there's a beat where absolutely nothing is happening. So it's a dead beat. So you want to make sure that both of those measures start with that dead beat. And also, let me make sure what I'm about to say is true. Yes, the sticking for the hand motions in this exercise is alternating through the whole thing from the very beginning to the very end. So yeah, the whole thing's alternating. So you'll have a right, rest, and then the attack is on left. Left, right, left, right, left, rest, right, left, right, left, right. Okay, so let's just play the skeleton of measure 3 and 4. Rest. Rest. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. Rest. Alrighty. So again, if you want to rewind now and listen to that while you play the doubles, ensuring that you're moving your hand motions with the notes that I just played as the skeleton. However, if you just did that and now you're ready to play it along with me, then we're going to play it as written, measures 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. Rest. Alrighty. So now let's play the whole line, the whole top line. 5, 6, 7, 8. Rest. Rest. Alrighty. So the next line, you've got tap 13-stroke rolls. The first two measures of the second line are tap 13-stroke rolls because you've got a tap, 6 hand motions, which makes 12 notes because you're doubling them, and then the release is 13. So let's play just the skeleton of the next two measures. Right, left, 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 right. Again. Right, left, 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 right. All right. So now you can rewind that and play it with the doubles along with me, ensuring that you're moving your hand motion with the notes that I'm playing, but that you're putting doubles in. So if you've done that and you're ready, let's play measure 5 and 6 as written together. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, and a D, and a 3, and a 1. Alrighty. So those are tap 13 stroke rolls. Let's play from the beginning through there. 5, 6, 7, 8. Rest. Rest. Alright. So notice that when I play these doubles, and there are a lot more in a row, that I'm not controlling the sticks down at any point. So I'm not playing it like this, where you can see me stopping the stick down there. You're just letting it rebound all the way up to the starting position. So those are all rebound strokes. It's just you're playing 2 notes per hand instead of a typical, what we've talked about to this point, where you might have 1 note at a time or something like that. So there you go. So the only time that you should control the sticks down to this point is when we have a quarter note. So up, down, down, down. Right. So for the rest of this exercise, starting at measure 7, your hands are going to be moving continuously. So you're not going to hold the sticks down at any point. So notice when I'm hitting those right accents, it's immediately rebounding to that tenuto height, that middle height. I'm not controlling it all the way down and re-lifting like this. I'm not playing it like that. I'm letting it rebound to that middle position. Okay, so that's just something to look out for the rest of the exercise. So let us play the next measure. So measure 7, and just the check. And this is a check for tap 7-stroke rolls. Okay, tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So we're just going to play the skeleton though. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So again, if you want to rewind, play diddles along with that, ensuring that your hands are moving with my hand motion. Now let's both play the written part together to bar 7. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Sweet. Okay. The next measure are tap 6-stroke rolls. Chained in exactly the way that I said that 6-stroke rolls usually appear at the beginning of this video. So let's just play the skeleton. Bar 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, rewind that and practice with the diddles, moving your hands with me. Now we're going to play it as written, both together. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3. 1, 2. Ready, play. One more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alrighty. So now let's play measures 7 and 8 together. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So again, those are tap 7s going into tap 6s. Now for the next measure, let us just play the skeleton. This is a tap 15 stroke roll, but we're just going to play the skeleton. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alrighty, so as per usual, you can rewind that, play it with the doubles, ensuring that you're moving your hands with me. Now let's play it both together as written. Okay. So now let's back up 2 measures to measure 7 and play measures 7, 8, and 9 together. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then the next one, the next 2 measures we're going to play together, meaning both of those measures together. And we could give this a number, but it's just really long, so it's a tap long roll. That's probably what I would call it. I think it's a, let's see, 15 plus 16 is 31, so it's a tap 31 stroke roll, I think. But we just say it's a tap long roll. So let's just play the skeleton of the next 2 measures. Alrighty, so again, rewind, play it with the doubles along to me just playing the skeleton. Ensure that you're moving your hands with my hands. Now let's play it as written together, the last 2 measures. Alright, so now let's go back to measure 7, and we'll play 7 all the way to the end. This is the section, if there's an A and a B to this exercise, then I guess B would start at measure 7, because your hands are just continually moving and there are no quarter notes or half notes. So let's take 7 to the end. Sorry, I got distracted. We'll try 7 to the end again. My son's up there banging around doing something. 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Okay, so now let's just play it down from, actually let's play the first 6 measures to review those and make sure we haven't forgotten. 5, 6, 7, 8. Rest, rest, again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alrighty, so now you would want to go back and make sure that you're marking time as you play this stuff, if your hands are in good shape. So first get your hands there and then try to add the feet. Now I'm going to turn this off and press record again, and I'm going to record the entire exercise with mark time at various tempos.